What up? It's your boy A.P.T. back once again with another album review. This time it's for Rihanna's brand new album, Talk That Talk. By the way, if you haven't already got it, you need to go get it. It's A.P.T's brand new mixtape, Justin Bieber Must Die. Here's a quick preview.
Oh, Mr. Flow, that's my name. That name again is Mr. Flow.
I'm Mr. Cloud Trick, that's my name. You can ask me again, I'll probably say the same.
Wasn't that quick? So, as you guys know, Rihanna's album leaked a few days ago. I've actually had the album for a couple of days, to be honest with you. Normally I get these albums and I review it right away while it's fresh. But I had to take a couple of days to this album. I listened to the album about 5 times, and the reason I did that is because, you know, this is her 6th album, and at this point, she's honestly only competing with herself in terms of, like, you know, content and stuff like that. So I'm gonna actually start off this review. I've never started off a review like this before. I'm gonna give you all the score for the album, and then I'm gonna explain why I gave it that score. So the score I'm giving the album, after much thought and consideration, is a 6.5. Now here's why. I believe this album is actually a pretty good album, you know? The problem is, the content of this album, in comparison to some of the content on some of her other albums, I think some of the other content she's put out previously is a little bit stronger. And again, it's not that necessarily these songs are bad, because I actually do, you know, like the album, but I found that a lot of the songs on this album were more skip-worthy than on previous albums, and I found myself having to, like, force myself to like some of the songs or have to get used to the songs more so than some of the other albums where I just like the content right off the bat. For example, the opening song on this album, You the One.
Yep, I'm falling for you, but there's nothing wrong with that. You the one.
Like, that song is great. I love that song. But the problem is, she had a stronger opener, I feel, on the last album with S&M, as well as on the previous album, Rated R, with The Wait Is Over. So when you get to this one, the opener, while good, is not as strong. And that's true for some of the other songs too. The title song, Talk That Talk, it's got a guest appearance by Jay-Z.
Everything I do is big. I talk big money, I talk big homes, I sell out arenas, I call that getting dome.
And again, I'm glad Jay's on it. I like the fact that he guest appeared on the song, but I feel as though he had a stronger verse on Umbrella. And that's kind of like throughout the album. There's a lot of songs that, again, I like them, but it's just, I don't like them right off the bat. There are more songs on Loud and on Good Girl Gone Bad and Rated R that when I first heard them, I'm like, oh yes, or I can see myself like continuously playing the song for a long time. With this album, honestly, I can see it getting a few spins, which is I already have for review purposes, getting a few spins, and then it's like a couple months later, I'll be like, what's that one or a couple songs that I liked off that album? Okay, I'll listen to it, and then I won't listen to the rest of the album. Now, don't get me wrong, there are some stellar tracks on this album that are worth playing again and again. The song she did with Bangladesh called Cockiness, love it. It's got some of the nastiest lyrics I have heard in a long time.
I love it when you eat it. I love it when you eat it. I love it when you eat it. Suck my cockiness, lick my persuasion. Eat my voice and then swallow your pride down.
There's also another song here that's called Birthday Cake.
It's not even my birthday, but they wanna lick the icing off.
Which I actually like. In fact, I had a problem with this song because it's only like a minute and some change long. I wish they would have made it a lot longer because it was actually one of the more standout tracks that I was starting to enjoy, and then it just fades out for no reason. Now granted, there's a lot of sex talk on this album. My personal feeling is that this album should have come probably with a condom or some kind of contraceptive, but there are a couple songs in here where she gets a little bit deeper and is talking about, you know, actual love and the loss of love. My personal favorite song, the last one she did called Farewell.
So farewell.
It's a nice change from the rest of the album. It's, you know, talking about how you have to let somebody go and do their thing even though you're going to be missing them. It's a very, very touching song, and it's one of my personal favorites. So yeah, overall, you know, 6.5, it's not a bad thing. I mean, I'm not saying don't get the album, because by all means, like I said, Rihanna still puts out stellar content. It's just that in comparison to some of her other works, this one didn't catch on to me as quickly as the other albums did. So I would have to say for Talk That Talk, I give it a 6.5. My recommendation is, you should go get it. It's probably one of the better R&B or pop albums that you'll hear this year, but it's not the best of Rihanna's work. Personally, I think you could go ahead and go back and get Loud if you don't already have it, or get Girl Girl Gone Bad, or Rated R. You know, those albums really had a lot of good content on it. But with that said, you're not going to have a bad listening to this. You'll just be listening to it and feel like either I've heard this before or I've heard it better done by her before. So there you go. That's my album review for Rihanna's Talk That Talk. Make sure you get my album, Justin Bieber Must Die. It's a free mixtape, 14 killer tracks, man. I promise you, you will not be disappointed when you hear that album. So go ahead, it's free download at my site, aptsongs.wordpress.com or justinbiebermustdie.com. I'm A.P.T, and I'll see you on the next album review, man. Peace!